All right, so it's here for video I will show on the screen. So no, idea to say, Osha, I was so boom. These are notorious armed robbers. These are notorious armed robbers that we call Eastern Regional. They are the people who are terrorizing people. They are the people who are always robbing banks. Into uko bank now ku use sika. Now piepe ube se na moto ediwechi. Se sika no kuta mo se moto diwechi. Ube wane se omo di shim abeji sika no moko. Utika mu so abo se moto ene ka diwechi. Enya odu baby a intersectional na oma crosso. Omo crosso pe ene ene di etu esi ukon ho. Ni aji usika, ni aji phone, ni aji bibia wo ho. Uti an ye kra bi kun ni aji car no. The people are omota sanya ma in criminal sense from say the syndicate. The gang no me no ka say omo nyini. Omo na me no ka say the Ghana Police Service. Yeah. Omo the information about say they've arrested all of them. Now ebebomu because in Sembebre ewomu how even this thing happened in the first place. What is really going on? So you can see them. So my embomu kakra ni nkuti nsema police sahene auditu together with DCOP Kudonko. But before then, what is really happening? So according to the Ghana police in a statement or the these people who are more on your screen, so they are armed robbers. They are notable criminal people. In the course of this particular video, we'll be putting all of them, their pictures on the screens. You should also look at the weapons. So we are learning, say, according to from the Ghana Police Service, they are saying, say, gang they are behind a series of robberies are almost targeting financial institutions and a quote is banks, rural banks across various regions, not just regions, and yet just if you are one region per Eastern region. They be the target banks in the Ashanti region, the target banks in the Eastern region, the target banks in the Central region, the target banks in the Western region, and the target banks in the Ahafo regions. Now, so far, no, 10. According to the police, no, 10, no, it didn't just come easy like that because they had to train a shootout. Because police focus say omunya intelligence eko bibi omuwono. The people were retaliating. It's not mutu tutu and police for now police force tutu. Until we are saying no, the police people were able to overpower them. Amo omunkro for miensa omewu. 3 of their people are dead. Omudo super ye. Now omunkro for miensa no omewu no 10 of them were able to be captured. It is that 10 no and no ena on your screens no. Now so I make in the course of this particular video now you should also see some weapons. You should also see some weapons screens no so no. Some weapons, according to the police, they recovered these weapons from these people, these criminal people. In total, they say they recovered almost 14 weapons, including AK-47 rifles, pump action guns, pistols, ammunition, vehicles, motorbikes, and mobile phones. In Sankofo, a computer pump action gun, you won't say bullion van eko yiska na nkofo bi twa ne ho no ma bo police ni to na team to tokro pump action gun any this ejuma no. So they had all of these your friend is saying akade ana omudidi juma na me no ka say the officers omutimi bo omodin akwache sa criminal probe me no ka say they've got promotion because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say he likes the work they are doing. Now I told you say the police phone penny for Nankasano, they've also come out to explain how all of this whole thing happened. IGP Christian Totoyo Hunu together with Mame Ya Donko Omunina Babe explaining what is really going on and how these criminal enterprise they caught them in the first place. Share this particular video Babaka. We will go straight and put all of them their pictures one by one there together with Baby movie. Share video where Babaka us.
The Ashanti Regional Police Commander, members of the press, officers and men present here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and warm welcome to the National Police Headquarters for this press briefing. Thank you for honoring our invitation in spite of the rain. This morning, we are delighted to share with you a major, massive breakthrough in the service has made in our fight against violent crimes, specifically armed robbery. The operation over the past year, the service recorded a number of robberies targeting financial institutions, particularly rural banks. My team and I, after analyzing these robberies, observed a similar pattern. We immediately got to work. After painstaking investigations, working with credible informants, analyzing available data, surveillance across several regions, we launched a targeted operation to arrest these criminal elements. This operation took us to the Ahafo, the Western, the Central, Eastern, and Ashanti region in towns such as Esreso, Edija, Ejiso, Achiankrom, Atonso, Chirapatre, Ahua, Zongo, Aputoja, Abotem, please forgive me my language, Kasebost, Eswofua, Atosu Monaco, Pechi, Obuase, and Buaho near Kronum. These are the hideouts. And Buaho near Kronum. These are the hideouts of these criminals. I'm delighted to announce that we have successfully dismantled the gang behind all these robberies. So far, we have successfully arrested So far, we have successfully arrested 10 suspects. 3 other suspects were shot dead in the course of the operation during a shootout with the police. We have launched a manhunt for the remaining suspects who are on the run. We will not stop until we get them arrested. We were also able to recover 14 weapons, including AK-47 rifles, pump-action guns, a single-barrel gun, pistols, ammunition, vehicles, mobile phones, among others. The Director General CID will give you the full details of the operation, the suspects, exhibits, among others. Commendations. I would like to acknowledge and commend Ashanti Regional Police Commander and his intelligence team for the role they played to ensure the success of this operation. Commander, get up. Get up. Let's clap for him. Let's clap for him. Let's clap for him. Thank you. I would also like to commend all other officers who played critical roles towards this successful operation. I wish to sincerely thank members of the public who volunteered credible information to the police that contributed to this breakthrough. I want to take this opportunity to call all members of the public to support the police with information for successful investigation. Let us all be vigilant members of the community and report any suspicious persons or activities to the police. As you may be aware, the service is committed to rewarding credible information shared to support our investigation. In conclusion, I would like to assure you that the police will continue to make life uncomfortable for criminal elements in our society. We will continue to pursue you till you are brought to justice. On this note, I want to inform you that the Police Management Board have decided to promote 3 chief inspectors to the police academy. Three inspectors to chief inspector. 2 sergeants to inspector. 1 corporal to sergeant. 3 constables. They are lucky, very fresh. They are giving lance corporal. To the senior officers, the police council will take a decision on them. Thank you very much. Okay, so these are the suspects. We can let them go back to the black area.
So the suspect will take leave of us as the IG indicated. We will show you a video, so kindly be looking towards the screen to my left. Thank you very much. Oh, okay, I want to see a video for the back capture. The videos depict how our officers were able to retrieve the weapons from these criminals, some of the weapons, how well they were concealed, and despite that, our officers were able to recover them. I think the internet is giving us a few breakages here and there, but we will share them with you in due course. Yes, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now invite the Director General CID, Commissioner of Police, Ms. Lydia Yakodonko, to give us the full brief. Please let's receive her with a clap.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, good morning once again. On behalf of the Inspector General of Police and members of the Police Management Board, I am also delighted to welcome you to this Election Command Center of the National Police Headquarters for this morning's briefing. As the IGP indicated, I'll be giving the full briefing on this major success chalked by the Ghana Police Service in our crime-fighting efforts, especially against armed robberies. Through sustained intelligence operations over a period of 6 months, the Ghana Police Service, under the able leadership of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Teteyohono, has successfully dismantled the notorious criminal syndicates who have been behind several robberies in various regions of the country. The syndicate, believed to be made up of about 15 persons, have carried out mainly bank robberies in the Ahafo, Western, Central, Eastern, and Ashanti regions, in addition to other robberies. So far, 10 members of the syndicate have been arrested and are in police custody, as you just witnessed them today in this room. 3 other suspects were shot dead following an exchange of fire with the police during the operation, and efforts are ongoing to get the remaining suspects arrested. The suspects are Akwesi Ejay, alias Cobra, Ibrahim Al-Hassan, Samuel Apia, alias Akwesi Mugu, Francis Akwa, alias Preman, David Obobi, alias Wasti, Martin Akansina, alias 1 Billion, Nana Yao Frimpong, alias Mystical, Kojo Atingawo, alias Boga, Samuel Akwesi Jan, Stephen Say, Koku Pepra, alias X5, he is deceased. Bozin is also deceased. Kwabna Owusu Ansa is at large, and 1 Albert also at large. The banks affected are as follows. Adansi Rural Bank in Fomena was attacked on the 10th of April 2025. The Lower Pra Rural Bank at Takrade in Traban was attacked on 24th April 2025. Asokore Rural Bank in Asokwa was attacked on the 18th of May 2025. Ahafo Kukom Rural Community Bank branch was attacked on the 30th of May 2025. In Wabeja Rural Bank at Ofinso was attacked on the 10th of July 2025. Bosomchi Rural Bank at Sontreso was attacked on the 18th of July 2025. Kakum Rural Bank at Elmina was attacked on 4th August 2025. MRB Bank in Winneba was attacked on the 15th of August 2025. The South Birim Rural Bank at Achim Asene was attacked on 16th August 2025. The EcoBank Ahafo Kenyasi branch was attacked on the 8th of September 2025. And lastly, St. Martin de Porres Co-op Credit Union at Atonsu, Monaco was attacked on 14th September 2025. I'll give you a brief fact of these robberies. On the 10th of April 2025 at about 1 a.m., this gang attacked and robbed the Adansi Rural Bank at Fomena and made away with an undisclosed amount of money and 2 pump-action guns belonging to the security men on duty. The gang scaled the bank wall, tied up the security men, and cut the security door with an industrial electric cutting machine before gaining access into the bank's vaults. On 23rd April 2025 at 4 a.m., the same gang armed with pump-action guns attacked and robbed the Lower Pra Rural Bank at Takrade in Traban. The robbers broke into the bank and used an industrial electric cutter to cut the bank's vaults and made away with the money in the vaults. On 18th May 2025, about 1:45 a.m., the same group armed with pump-action guns robbed the Asokore Rural Bank at Wood Village, Kumasi, and made away with cash from the bank's vault, and also bolted with 1 pump-action gun with 6 AAA live ammunition and cash the sum of 2,060 Ghana cedis belonging to the security guard on duty, who they tied up and abandoned. On 30th May 2025, the same men armed with 3 pump-action guns broke into the Ahafo Community Bank at Kukum after having held the security man captive and tying his hands behind his back. The robbers broke into the bank vault with an electric cutting machine and made away with the cash. On 10 July 2025, these robbers, again armed with pump-action guns, stormed the Nwabija Rural Bank at Ofinso, took the security guard hostage, tied his legs and hands at his back. They then broke into the banking hall, but could not get access into the vaults. They then bolted with 11 AA live ammunition. On 18 July 2025, same gang broke into the Bosomchi Rural Bank at Edwinasi in Kumasi. However, the swift response of the police there foiled their plans and they bolted from the bank premises. Again, on 4th August 2025, the same gang, armed with pump-action guns, besieged the Kakum Rural Bank premises, accosted the security guards, including a police officer on duty, tied them up, and proceeded to the banking hall. They then used an electric cutter to cut open the vaults and made away with the money. On 15th August 2025, at about 1 a.m., a gang armed with pump-action guns broke into the MRB Bank premises off the Winneba Swedu Road, held some bank staff residing closer to the bank hall hostage, and attempted to rob the bank. Their attempt to cut open the vault as usual failed due to the prompt response of the police patrol team. However, they managed to escape after firing shots at the patrol team. Meanwhile, they left behind one pump-action gun loaded with 8 cartridges and one industrial electric cutter. On 16th August 2025 at 1:45 a.m., the same gang proceeded to Achim Asine, where they robbed the South Birim Rural Bank. Armed with pump-action guns, they entered the bank premises, held the security man hostage, and later bolted with cash from the bank. On 25th August 2025, the gang, again armed with 3 pump-action guns, stormed the Wenchi NIB Bank, tied the security man and held him hostage. They broke into the bank vault and made away with the money. On 8 September 2025, the gang, again armed with 3 pump-action guns and 1 AK-47 rifle, stormed the EcoBank Kenyasi premises, and due to their large number, held the 2 police officers on duty hostage at gunpoint and seized their 2 AK-47 rifles loaded with ammunition, together with 3 mobile phones. Their attempt to cut open the main vaults failed due to faulty electric industrial cutter machine. They then bolted with the 2 service AK-47 rifles. And lastly, on Sunday, 14th September 2025, at 3:30 a.m., the same gang, armed with pump-action guns and 3 AK-47 rifles, broke into the St. Martin de Porres Cooperative Credit Union at Atonsu, Monaco, held the security man and his wife hostage, and robbed the bank of an amount of money. Police, on arrival at the scene, retrieved 1 AK-47 rifle magazine loaded with 10 rounds of ammunition. Exhibits so far recovered by the police from the suspects include the following: 3 AK-47 assault rifles, 1 single-barrel gun with 1 AAA ammunition, 7 pump-action guns, and 96 rounds of AAA ammunition, 3 Bruni pistols with 40 rounds of ammunition, 1 M&P pistol with 4 rounds of ammunition, cash the sum of 18,845 Ghana cedis, 104 US dollars, 190 Liberian dollars, 5,800 naira, 31,000 sefa, and a quantity of assorted Ghana coins. 6 vehicles, 4 motorbikes, assorted mobile phones, and jewelries. Ladies and gentlemen, it is worth noting that one of the AK-47 rifles marked GHGP/ASH/TEPA/TP/B1523 retrieved from this gang was a police service weapon issued to number 48034 G Corporal Francis Eduyao, then at Tepa Police District Headquarters, who was sadly attacked by armed robbers and killed on the Bibiani-Goso Highway on 29 November 2024 while he was returning from an official duty. This is an indication that this same gang committed that heinous crime. The other 2 AK-47 rifles, also service weapons, were snatched from officers who were on duty at EcoBank Ahafo Kenyasi when they were attacked by a gang of armed robbers on 8 September 2025. Between November 2024 and September 2025, the police administration responded to a series of bank robberies across the country. A critical analysis of these robberies revealed a similar modus operandi employed by the robbers. Their modus was that the gang armed with pump-action guns attack a bank, hold the security guards hostage, snatch their weapons, and then use industrial cutting machines to break into the vault of the banks. Targeted intelligence gathering across the affected regions led police to one of the suspects, one Kwabna Owusu-Ansah alias Kobi, an ex-convict who is believed to be the mastermind who recruited several others for the robbery operations. On 18 September 2025, an intelligence team proceeded to Esereso Adeja, where sustained surveillance led to the arrest of suspect Kwesi Eje alias Cobra, the leader of the gang, in his hideout at Esereso Adeja. A search conducted in his house and its surroundings led to the retrieval of 2 AK-47 rifles marked BA 406069 and AB 405216, with a magazine loaded with 13 rounds of ammunition concealed in a sack buried in a pond of water behind his house. The said weapons were police rifles, which were snatched from policemen on duty at EcoBank Kenyasi branch on 8 September 2025. A Toyota Noah minibus with registration number AS295625 was also recovered and impounded. On interrogation, suspect Kwesi Eje alias Cobra admitted to the robberies and mentioned suspects Kwabna Owusu-Ansah alias Kobi, David Ebobi alias Kofi, David Wasti, Francis Akwa alias Preman, Stephen Say, Martin Akansina alias 1 billion, Kweku Prepar alias X5, Nanaya Frimpong alias Mystical, Kojo Atingao alias Boga, Alhassan Ibrahim, Samuel Apia alias Akwesi Mugu, Samuel Akwesi Jan, Nati Bongo, Bozin and Albert as his accomplices in the various robberies. Further intelligence led to the arrest of David Obobi alias Wasti, a trotro driver, from his hideout at Ejisu Achia Krom. A search conducted in his room revealed 7 pump-action guns, 97 live rounds of AAA ammunition, 4 foreign pistols, and 36 live rounds of 9mm ammunition, a hammer, a metal cutter, 5 heavy-duty metal chisels, and assorted mobile phones. A red-colored Toyota Hiace minibus with registration number AS9039/21, used in conveying the suspects to the various robbery destinations, was also recovered and impounded. The team later arrested suspect Stephen Say at Atonsu Chirapatre. A search in a silver-colored Toyota Corolla saloon car with registration number GG4721 led to the retrieval of 1 AK-47 assault rifle marked GHGP/ASH/TEPA/TP/B1523 with a magazine loaded with 25 rounds of ammunition concealed in the front passenger door. The said AK-47 rifle was observed to be the same police service rifle which was robbed from the police officer who was shot and killed by the robbers. Police moved to Ahwea Zongo, Aputoja, Abontim, and Kasi Bost and arrested suspect Ibrahim Al-Hassan, 30 years, a taxi driver, Francis Akwa alias Preman, 30 years, a trailer driver, and Martin Akansina alias 1 billion, 43 years, a truck pusher, respectively. A red and yellow Opel Astra taxi cab with registration number GT1992V and the black Absonic motorbike number M25AW2177 were retrieved from suspects Ibrahim Al-Hassan and Martin Akansina, respectively. The team proceeded to Esiofua, where suspect Kweku Pepra alias X5, who engaged a shootout with the police, got shot. A Bruni pistol loaded with 4 rounds of ammunition was retrieved from him. Another team proceeded to Esereso Living Waters and arrested suspect Kwejo Atingao, 35 years, a drinking sport operator, and retrieved 1 single barrel gun and 1 AAA cartridge from him. The team then went to Apromase near Odom to arrest suspect Kwabna Owusu-Ansah alias Kobi, but met his absence. His red Toyota Corolla number GR607618 and black Suzuki motorbike number M25AS9360 were impounded for investigation. On 19 September 2025, acting upon information that the pump action gang robbed at St. Martin de Porres Cooperative Credit Union at Atonsu, Monaco on 14 September 2025 was in the custody of suspect Natibongo, who lived at Pechi and Obuasi. A team moved to the location for his arrest. However, the suspect got shot during an exchange of fire with the police. Two pump action guns numbers ASAX 10158-2020, which was robbed at St. Martin de Porres, and ASAQ 936723 with 31 rounds of AAA ammunition and one M&P pistol loaded with 4 rounds of 9mm ammunition were retrieved from him. The team further proceeded to Boho near Kronum and arrested suspect Samuel Akwesi Apia alias Akwesman, 37 years, a trotro driver, and Yao Frimpong alias Nanayao alias Mystical, 32 years, an apprentice from their hideouts. A black unregistered Toyota Voxy vehicle was retrieved from suspect Samuel Akwesi Apia alias Akwesman. Suspect Kweku Pepra alias X5, Natibongo and Bozin Akwesi Apia, who engaged police in a shootout during the operation, were shot and died while receiving medical attention. The bodies have been deposited at the morgue for preservation and autopsy. From investigation conducted so far, I can report that some of the suspects, upon interrogation, have confessed to their involvement in the robberies. In addition, investigation has been able to confirm that some of the suspects were present at the various crime scenes around the time these robberies occurred. Also, during an identification parade, some of the suspects were positively identified by some victims of the robbery. Additionally, some of the exhibits, including the AK-47 rifles, some of the pump action guns, and mobile phones, have also been positively identified. Investigation is still ongoing. All the suspects are in custody and will be put before court while efforts are intensified to get those at large arrested. Before I conclude, I would like to once again highly commend the Ashanti Regional Commander and all the officers whose dedication and professionalism contributed to this successful operation. We are indeed proud of you. I wish to make a special mention of my boss, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu. Sir, your special competencies in intelligence operations and your leadership guided this operation and many others to success. We are indeed grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, we wish to assure the good people of Ghana that the Ghana Police Service will continue to work around the clock to ensure security, law, and order at all times in the country. As always, we call on all our stakeholders and the general public to continue to support the police, report suspicious activities, and share credible information with the police. To the criminals out there, always remember that you may run and hide, but we will surely get you arrested to face the full rigors of the law. We are coming for you. I thank you for your attention.
Okay, so these are the criminal syndicates. I know, because they've been busted by the Ghana Police Service. Now, we told you, so we have pictures of all of them. Intuition, your dust screens, no, so away, or can one of the people I actually mono, yachi mono. A dear, I had a friend, ye Kojo Atinga. Ni guy named Boga, with 35 years. He is one of the people among bank robberies now. It is a omukunkum kofonia diade. Where Alasan Ibrahim. We did 30 years, or no, the only guy name. Where you say Stephen, we did 37 years, or no, so you see only guy name. Where you Kwesi AJ, aka Cobra, we did 49 years. Where you David Obuobi, aka Wasti, we did 45 years. Where you Nanaya Frimpong, aka Mystica, we did 32 years. Where Akansina Martin, aka 1 billion, we did 43 years. Where Samuel Apia, aka Mugu, we did 35 years. We are Samuel Akwesi Jan. We did 40 years. No guy name involved. Samuel Akwesi Jan. Oman find the guy name amba because only we Francis Aqua aka Preman. We did 30 years. We the live action and now pump action guns are together with cartridges are we know can say the 18 Now, first of all, in some way in our question, the Ghana police brought out a lengthy statement. Omu detail say Sanko Fukui most of them do na truck drivers, ebimu taxi drivers, ebimu from, but then they also in the evening go out and do armed robbery. What I say, until there was a particular time retrieve one pistol from one of the robbers, friend Cobra. When we say pistol, no Ghana police for ascenso dear wo ho. Tracking number na police officer bi no tukanu ofi Kumasi or so eba ayikunu kwan ho. Sa police officer no esan say ni pump action no akodi omo ho no. It is sad to say they are the people who killed that particular police officer. Now, we share from January till now, they've robbed various banks, various rural banks in all of these regions: Western, Central, Brown, Ashanti, Eastern, everywhere. And finally, intelligence-led operation Amaya Kwachiom. So, is this a big news for Ghana police? Because we are all looking at this from various ways. I just say, you could see, say the Ghana police, omo bo omo them ye pa. I just say, was say ye bo omo abaso. So clearly, that is exactly the news. This particular news people are really happy about this, and also we are learning the police involved, and the police members involved, they've been given a promotion, okay, because of how diligent Obiaka said these guys have done so well. Now let's move on to another issue. Lady ya who the picture and in the video was screen HSA or your Ghanaian born and or your Ghanaian, okay, ni papa and then mommy a Ghanaian. But unfortunately, and unfortunately, our United Kingdom. Now, according to her, a brand no usano. And just say, or papa, na on your on any mammet UK, and deporting papa because an crata as one was so few. But since then, on tenny papa, on papa bill bepimene, and do no by social media, together with this particular guy on the screen, and I upper amount for say, this is the situation. I want to see my father because, and yes, and papa, no absentee father, not on person obey what was needed, not on person be taking responsibility. They be a deportation, deporting I mean. So I would like to get in touch. It's here for you can share this particular video because BBAC there's an update on this particular story. So you can share this particular video involved the player, this lady or Tuja, and then amount for investigate here. The end story of it. So just say Osha Kra na Sebi Onisio the Eto. You can share this particular video involved. Yeah, babaka.
Yes, sister, you hey or Ghana nipa, but you know. England abrochi memu na waka asem ya cheme akama kuma pa na me say Ghana for me the two money my nyina e betima bom ni aboa no especially Asante for ni ma me say bi oni ma me ye Jamaica ni na ye wo no hu papa da na dia according to no say o ma me no catch ni say o papa no a taxi driver e wo Bristol no e Ghana ni your friend Edward Boating na 80s more baby no oko speed or pentama befi and a police for Mujina who say name crata any idea na you into normal at the neighbor back to fee. Now you won't find any who papa that I are a hosempa and tell me to a free UK memoir our shop papa no. It will be Ghana mine I am one especially Asante Mamu Yamwan no who papa no see your friend your can you tell them your dad's name, her sister's name? And all that,
yeah. Hello everyone, my name's Nanaya. I was born in the UK. I've never met my dad before. He was deported, unfortunately, in July 1987 from a detention centre called Wandsworth. I would be very grateful if you could help me find my dad. He had a sister called Christina. Not sure of her surname. She lives in the UK as well. And my mother, her name was Marcia Rose. She's also from the UK. My dad's roughly 61, going on 62. I think he may be born in September, but again, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll be grateful if you know any information, even if you have a picture, if you know someone who knows him, please be in contact.
So this was what the lady came out to say. You know, or papa chakwa. And yes, and papa no ya absentee father. There be a situation and they see any deported or now after so many said because I didn't buy no be a person what was involved. And then so and it's in the internet for omukoye magic. And we have an update for you. Papa na it just say a year nebano we huno. And go share this particular video of a reunion because of full plane a bagana so by shiny papa.
Finally found. I'm happy to see you. Yeah. I know you are mine. Lost daughter. Finally found. I'm happy to see you. Yeah. I know you are mine. The test will be done, but I know you are mine. You look just like my mother. My sister.
Oh, you didn't live in the UK?
No, I met him in America.
So the family is serious.
Yeah, very big family.
All the love, all the cuddling you didn't get, you get in now.
You see how you are proving beyond whatever, and the other person will be a nominal. Janice!
Detention centre called Wandsworth. I'll be very grateful if you can help me find my dad. He had a sister called Christina. Not sure of her surname. She lives in the UK as well. And my mother, her name is Marcia Rose. She's also from the UK. My dad's roughly 61, going on 62. I think he may be born in September, but again, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll be grateful if you know any information, even if you have a picture, if you know someone who knows him, please be in contact.
Ghana for me, Tiobi searching. Yes, sister, you're right. Or Ghana nipa, but you know, England, Abrotimemu. Now, I can't assemble me. I come upon, I mean, say Ghana for me, the 2 money, my every my boom near one, especially Asante 4. Ni maame sabi oni maame ye Jamaican ni na ye wo no hu papa da na ya according to ono no se o maame no ka che ne say o papa no a taxi driver e o Bristol no e Ghana ni ye friend no Edward Boating na 80s more baby no oko speed o pentama be fie e na police for gina no mo gina no hu say ne nkrata ne ade na yu nti no mo e de ne ba back to fie na ye wo no fa na ni hu papa da are Hosempa and tell me to a free UK memoaba obesho papa no it be pese Ghana mine na yemboa no sremo especially Asante memu yemboa no hu papa no see your friend your can you tell them your dad's name, her sister's name and all that?
Yeah, hello everyone, my name's Nanaya. I was born in the UK. I've never met my dad before. He was deported, unfortunately, in July 1987 from a detention centre called Wandsworth. I would be very grateful if you could help me find my dad. He had a sister called Christina. Not sure of her surname. She lives in the UK as well. And my mother, her name is Marcia Rose. She's also from the UK. My dad's roughly 61, going on 62. I think he may be born in September, but again, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll be grateful if you know any information, even if you have a picture, if you know someone who knows him, please be in contact.
Ghana for me, Chobia.
So that is it. You could see, say finally, the lady, Ababi share a ne papa chess as a share ne mami with New York or no call back to UK, and I just say ultimately deporting and went to my the answer and call back a bill. So that is it. I just say you could see, say lady, finally, I don't know if this to say, Bana or papa and share no crana or friend in you or share papa. Well, who knows? Someone. So that is the issue on the ground. Now, yesterday, Yabremo update said there is a UN conference at ECOSO, an annual UN summit, and annual UN conference. And Trump was definitely the eye of the show at Ubia Airsham. And we told you, said Trump himself, deportation, he's vowed, say African countries are they've overstayed, or most citizens are overstaying in the United States of America. He's going to make sure so all of them are going to be deported. So what really did happen was so simple, okay? It was Trump's time to actually give a speech at the UN summit. But then something did happen. Why? Because during the time, President Donald Trump, when he was actually going to the venue, he went there with his beautiful wife Melania Trump, and all of that. Everyone thought this was it. I mean, he was going to do what he does best and all of that. But what we also saw was so simple. Trump got to the event, and then he wanted to get on the elevator. I don't know if it's elevator or elevator. And then basically it was not working. The stairs was not working. And the funny thing is, this was the first down pay that Trump actually had. His teleprompter even failed to work. Now, the US President Donald Trump became very furious, and he's saying that this was some plot by some people, I don't know if within the UN or some countries, to sabotage him. But before then, let's take a look at this particular video that has definitely got everyone talking. When we come back, we continue with the rest.
President Trump, Schumer. President Trump, Schumer.
So you could see clearly that when Trump wanted to actually take the stairs stopped for no reason, and people are questioning why. Now, these are equipment which could go faulty or which could stop for various reasons. But then the shocking thing was the second thing that happened straight up the same night was when Trump's teleprompter failed to work for various reasons. Let's take a look at this video and you come back, we continue.
Very much appreciated. And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter, because the teleprompter is not working. I feel very happy to be up here with you nevertheless, and that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
So that was just one part of it. So you could see that successively everything that Trump was doing for the night or during when he was supposed to speak, from going on the stairs to getting the teleprompter working to reading his speech, everything was basically not working. Now, in light of all of this, there's something else that's going on. Trump actually said or came out to say that, when he started reading from his paper, because he also had a paper notes, so that if the teleprompter fails, he uses that instead. Now, Trump actually took the stand to criticize how Christianity or Christians around the world are now being persecuted. So if you're a Christian, all of a sudden you're not part of the cool club, you're not part of the people, because you oppose certain ideologies, like you know what I'm talking about, those things that you believe that they are not in the Bible. So this was Trump's message. Let's take a look at it. When we come back, we continue.
But I worry about Europe. I love Europe. I love the people of Europe, and I hate to see it being devastated by energy and immigration. This double-tailed monster destroys everything in its wake, and they cannot let that happen any longer. You're doing it because you want to be nice, you want to be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage. They must take control strongly and immediately of the unmitigated immigration disaster and the fake energy catastrophe before it's too late. The carbon footprint is a hoax made up by people with evil intentions, and they're heading down a path of total destruction. You know, the carbon footprint was a big, big thing a few years ago. I remember hearing about the carbon footprint, and then President Obama would get into Air Force One, a massive Boeing 747, and not a new one, an old one with old engines that spew everything into the atmosphere. He'd talk about the carbon footprint, we must do so. Then he'd get in and he'd fly from Washington to Hawaii to play a round of golf. And then he'd get problems it should. Too often, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. The best example is the #1 political issue of our time, the crisis of uncontrolled migration. It's uncontrolled. Your countries are being ruined. The United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States, and then we have to get them out. The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that? On the way to infiltrate our southern border. Millions of people came through that southern border. Just a year ago, millions and millions of people were pouring in, 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net. We have reasserted that America belongs to the American people, and I encourage all countries to take their own stand in defense of their citizens as well. You have to do that because I see it. I'm not mentioning names. I see it, and I can call every single one of them out. You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody is ever, and nobody's doing anything to change it, to get them out. It's not sustainable. And because they choose to be politically correct, they're doing just absolutely nothing about it. And I have to say, I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible, terrible mayor. And it's been so changed, so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law. But you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained. What makes the world so beautiful is that each country is unique. But to stay this way, every sovereign nation must have the right to control their own borders. You have the right to control your borders, as we do now, and to limit the sheer numbers of migrants entering their countries and paid for by the people of that nation that were there and that built that particular nation at the time. They put their blood, sweat, tears, money into that country, and now they're being ruined. Proud nations must be allowed to protect their communities and prevent their societies from being overwhelmed by people they have never seen before with different customs, religions, with different everything, where migrants have violated laws, lodged false asylum claims, or claimed refugee status for illegitimate reasons. They should, in many cases, be immediately sent home. And while we will always have a big heart for places and people that are struggling and truly compassionate, answers will be given. We have to solve the problem, and we have to solve it in their countries, not create new problems in our countries. And we are very helpful to a lot of countries that are just not able to send their people anymore. They used to send them to us in caravans of 25, 30,000 people each. These massive caravans of people pouring into our country, totally unchecked and unvetted. But not anymore. According to the Council of Europe in 2024, almost 50% of inmates in German prisons were foreign nationals or migrants. In Austria, the number was 53% of the people in prisons were from places that weren't from where they are now. In Greece, the number was 54%, and in Switzerland, beautiful Switzerland, 72% of the people in prisons are from outside of Switzerland. When your prisons are filled with so-called asylum seekers who repaid kindness, and that's what they did, they repaid kindness with crime. It's time to end the failed experiment of open borders. You have to end it now. See, I can tell you, I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell. In America, we've taken bold action to swiftly shut down uncontrolled migration. Once we started detaining and deporting everyone who crossed the border and removing illegal aliens from the United States, they simply stopped coming. They're not coming anymore. We're getting a lot of credit, but they're not coming.
Okay, so that was the Donald Trump at his best, rambling, talking, immigration, and definitely Ghanaians outside. You guys get a memo. You are not allowed into the United States if you don't meet the criteria. Anyway, so moving on to the next issue. This particular man who successfully came out and said, Apostle Kujosaf Owua and Namiensa Edi ni Beto. And true to his words to ensure a toy. Now look at this from this particular angle. This did happen, but then we are also learning, say, Ajagraja send a video on the screens. No, okay, say Apostle Kujosaf no, a basun sorry o krum ha, or no na odimu hine. What I say, or the pioneer. Now, this same man also came out to say, within the children of Apostle Kujosaf, in Tokwa Eko on between them, and then according to him, if the children don't stop this, something bad might happen. Or Sansu Diababe to just say the children and Apostle Kujosaf and Mbano Yanshin year before or after ni no Omuba Kubewu. But then finally, Papi Ajagraja was storming the premises of Apostle Kujosaf who could deliver a scathing remark on the way forward and also perhaps the secret of his death. If you must baby beam as AI, share this particular video of what he said and also the way forward. Babaka, betwaso because in simple it for I will say twice, especially in regards with the issue of Ajagraja and in Sema Odi Tuja.
I didn't know this and I didn't wait and go home. I used to friend and also many perform. Yes, where did he? Wana, Odai, Wansu, toilet to go by young club. Because what did he are? That is a simple young man. And he said, you said, you are meant to be by Nipa body more. I didn't African need here in Israel. One way from. And you was by you and also cook his father for the first campus and for some. Obìnrin sọ yẹn nìyẹn kò pọ̀ lọ́sùn náà wọ́n fáwọn mẹ́. Yé màá sọ ọ́dọ̀ nípa ti fún mi náà níbi sọ màá sọ náà wọ́n fáwọn mẹ́. Freedom of speech. It is a code social media and a code TV live with the eye. What be Piara or the Papa and the baby keep you from me because I'm a man. This man what is it? Who said that? And said that. Obìnrin náà don't mind me keep nobody. You soon to be a to be careful, to be same man, someone that woman. They say repeating commission. Olumas in Ganjan man say. Someone can say, someone solve a problem. Obeba be fa ba kwa.
Oh, bien. Kasa.
Me be you say Frank Angelo.
Kanu kure.
Na me mani ntu. Me nya ba do asafo ase. Odu si hima.
Ane tie.
It is shame to the chi.
Muda o.
Nkara.
Anu hia.
Osise ma meka, odi mu bi ka. Ti de kan kire me nya ba do asafo.
Obeka.
Say, Oluma si odu si hima. Ansa walk. Let's to the chicken was young.
Muda o.
Then was yet.
Kanu kure.
Because an impossible year. Social media. I'm a papa legacy. Let's have a bunch of them. It was sending man. They should come together. Omunka kem komfa kunya akunya so mun transit so mun ye meeting na omun go around according to mpanyinfo. Now whatever the problem might be, they should solve it before the battle.
Kanu kure.
Yes sir. They know can say they can't have ready and go for the council city.
Kanu kure.
They were one in Soto. When he is crying, that is when I am Soto. The matter of my Christmas for this also GD. Now, Christianity to be by Apostle Joseph Christmas for your religion. If Christianity is a religion, Christmas is a religion. Obiano who yango ponda.
Dabi omuda.
Nipa wo dra wo se nyame nyaso. It will be name mu sofo a. Wo de mu sofo. Me so o kenele kasa no o buni sofo. Wo mu sofo a. Because mama so the antitim sa. Antitim so tini bo sofo. Antitim so tini foko sofo. Antitim so sofo kwa ya so tini bo akeye wa bonti. Na Christmas of antitim sa.
Dabi
Unyami ye ba. Oni na kozo kozo safo.
Kanu kure.
Ezo no enyami ade no bu na ye de so na Yesu su.
Muda o. Won se ma nyansa.
Anda wo fomu na ko won ai. O go sari bubu Muhammad.
Me do kufo ka no. Me de beko. Now the pride is not because the car is strong and beautiful. The pride is that it is by us, it is from us, and it is with us. Intimisemo, any demo, with the better man say, what you tell me, na ya share idea, and so me jira hey. Ewu na amamenya akukudroi eka ensema meka kire mu because me anso me hu se yemre no eswa ti ne esese ye bia no mo menye ne esese ye boma ye bia no mo menye na hodi e bebo mu nyina no ebetimi asesa o man Ghana kantanka ye obia oye sronko me akasa me hu no na me hu say we different me so be different pa nipa be bring to me say so we share you say the greatest people are misunderstood and the greatest people were not born great, they grew great. It's because they appreciated greatness, and I appreciate the greatness of this great man. So no matter crazy be don't leave the memory, don't leave the legacy, don't let go. Let's continue. Tomorrow is another day, but yesterday's problem would become tomorrow's opportunities, and the death of our ancestors will become the courage, will become the faith and the grace for us to continue this journey. And I'm on here to a bit too jabby. And so yeah, there in Yakobi. Mummy and Twaso. And let's continue the legacy of Kojo Safo Kantanka. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless Ghana. And God bless
wherever your spirit came from, because it doesn't look like it's going to end any moment from now. We will be here as long as God would grant us life. The tree will never die. God bless you. Thank you. Now the pride is not because the car is strong and beautiful. The pride is that it is by us, it is from us, and it is with us. Intimisemo, any demo, with the bedroom when you say, what you tell me, na ya share idea, and so me hey. Ewu na amamenya akukudroi eka ensema meka kire mu because me anso me hu se yemre no eswa ti ne esese ye bia no mo menye ne esese ye boma ye bia no mo menye na hodi e bebo mu nyina no ebetimi asesa o man Ghana kantanka ye obi a oyesronko me akasa me hu no na me hu say we different me so be different pa nipa be brain to mase so we sha you say the greatest people are misunderstood, and the greatest people were not born great, they grew great. It's because they appreciated greatness, and I appreciate the greatness of this great man. So no matter where it be, don't leave the memory, don't leave the legacy, don't let go. Let's continue. Tomorrow is another day, but yesterday's problem would become tomorrow's opportunities, and the death of our ancestors will become the courage, will become the faith and the grace for us to continue this journey. And I'm on here to
So that was some of the scenes if he Apostle Kojo Safo but you could see as a graduate reply leading an annual bar obe complaining yes Apostle Kojo Safo time and no mukona so net is almost soon picture near the other no as a graduate catch say obi no so be some Apostle Kojo Safo ni picture e fa mobe. So clearly you could see as a graduate was also the one and Aquaman family members no into no a back and forth. But then let's move on to this particular issue. In wake of a galamsey activities at Air Corso, the government is moving to ban it. BBAC a strong com, and as we are putting the flyer on to screen, so a fetish place abandoned shrine as anti-galamsey task force arrives at Ankobra River. So River Ankobra is one of the endpoints which serves many communities drinking water and it's a potable drinking water. So this was what really happened. There is a particular fetish priest in that particular community. So that particular fetish priest or what's our community? We are learning say one more galamsey wo hono oma kone na ase and oma kwaje indru ana protection and unti say police for an anti-galamsey task force for no omo ba enye edro no timi commande na we hu so omo ba osunsun afro omo ana say omo bracelet bi abosina bracelet ni emi omo. But then in wake of this particular raid no the Western Regional National Security and then the Western Naval Command omo storming the various galamsey sites no omo ko hope na omo hu say this particular shrine any ritualist no we dwane. Now we are learning say this particular shrine no task force no omo ko discover bibi oye na yi no the rituals and purification it contains a list of ritual items for clients into one be ban in chain the wasa oye yebeka set to sheep to goats to 6 fowls to guinea fowl nema 3,000 cedis sort of carries any 300 cedis in cash until the same nyina ba galamsey no betu it aside from protection na you no be of fowls protection no what will also happen is that adina wutu no said you why a sacrifice ama asase ana wa manananom omowo assassin omo de abosomfo no one mo bibi kakra nti enye utu a good no ye de ebefifi na in some way AC we also learns additionally no osanje age akokọ nti e call na akokọ ni ship kra ya tie omo ho and we are learning say nipa sa pre-see no na obo mo wo ye galamsey no but a police force stormy wa omukwakoche wo ye galamsey ye koya papai ye hu ni biem regardless no a citizen so abe blue alarm of what is really going on in this country because according to him no recently na oku Cape Coast but he was shocked and as she was shocked say insuo a sebiu eni ye clean no okoya insuo no eni adane brown which tells you the devastation na ekoso ewokron we share this particular video babaka we continue on this same galamsey issue.
Kalekoi here and welcome to Sustainability GH. So today I want us to look at this video. This is in a town called Anglo Shama. It's on the road to Cape Coast and we went there a couple of months ago. So all this is the sea. This is the sea. This is not a river. Nothing. This is the sea, and this is where the fishermen are taking our fish from. All you could see was this, and then if you go to River Tunnel, it's all brown. So at the end of the day, you ask yourself exactly what are we trying to do at this point with galamsey? All the measures and all the initiatives are not working. So what is the next step, and what can we actively do to stop galamsey, because this is pathetic. Kalekoi here and welcome to Sustainability GH. So today I want us to look at this video. This is in a town called Anglo Shama. It's on the road to Cape Coast and we went there a couple of months ago. So all this is the sea. This is the sea. This is not a river. Nothing. This is the sea, and this is where the fishermen are taking our fish from. All you could see.
So that is it. You could see, say, the galamsey effects, you know, we because a ripple. It is really hurting all of us. And at the end of the day, it's trickling down and then also disturbing a lot of things at Echo. So these are some of the various things at Echo. So people are definitely pissed. They say more is not being done. We are not doing more. We are near idea ebwa. And at the end of the day, no, galamsey no say na essay so at a washa a year. So that is exactly what is really going on, and definitely, you know, there are a whole lot of concerns about what we need to do about this. In this same vein, we are also learning, say, recently, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama initiative on the buyer, almost gold board, and also minus near the adeno, no more purchases here and see a room for almost more bagana, no more study how this particular system is working, because according to them, no, this whole system of the gold board, digging, we digging for our gold, we selling them, and now we using it to pump into our currencies. So according to them, party say adia omu ya ebe boa ye papa ebe boa omu, because Ghana for ya it is really helping us. So they want to also come and emulate it. That is, you could see clearly what is going on here. It's therefore young share this particular news of how the news was reported. Say gold board for Tisiano Omo Ebabe, Sualum for Babi, how Ghana you manage your gold board affairs.
Any point I made it was so Selio Mino, or finance minister, Penny of Shell Omo Minus Kasem so on Munyan for Sheku Fantamadi Bangura, Papa Ghana ha. Na Oba Ghana, and when you be uncle, said the chief executive officer at the Ghana Gold Board, lawyer Sami Jemfio, and the Selio Mining Finance Minister, Woko. Now, the entity of Cornwall and it said, Open each say, if we are say, Nya Ochasapa, and Yishiano. Now, so we are DNA fa. No, Shia. Selio Mani Chese Ghana a to an amobia, fair. Ne koye enu nti no mo yi omo finance minister say omra Ghana ha no mesua Selio for chese omo so nyame amadom sika kokko gold yi omo obi enso nkrofo tudi nkrofo de fa kuntuna se na eton a o mani nyamfa so obi a no mo se Ghana ba mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama baye wati gold board a wafa lawyer Sami Jemfi adoa no. And they go to 2 of my Ghana, gold board that
wɔn tɔ a na wɔn akɔtɔn na sika no aba ɔman no nsam na ɔman no de ayɛ mpuntunwuma na sɛ lemfo kyɛ sɛ kwan a Ghana yafa so tu saa na mo ɛyɛ ɔmo fɛ paa nti finance minister ba Ghana ase no ɔbɛhwɛ nhyehyɛ a Ghana yɛyɛ nneɛma yɛde agu nkrataa so na ɔmo de bi akɔ ɔmo man mu sɛ de bɛyɛ a ɔmo so ɔmo to gold a ɔman no betumi atɔ na ɔmo kɔtɔn a ɔman no nya mfasoɔ edi Ghana Gold Board anamo ɔmo tu no sɛ deɛ Africa aman na hyɛ efia o sɛ leonfoɔ ɛna edi kan aba a wɔn so mba besua ɔkwan a lawyer Sami Jamfi ɛne ne team wɔn afa so ɛtoto Ghana yɛ gold ho nsɛnsɛm ama atimi akɔyie ɛde ama ɔman no any point na mere ɛtoa so sɛ leon no.
So for that is exactly what is really going on. Now, we show on the screens now, as many MPP for Mokase Galamsey Akostronom. There's a data which have been released. You are seeing that the Galamsey, even though Hunsun Sony a very hard drain, the chart depicts who gave the license for who to operate. Now, Osha charts, no, some parties from 2012 to 2016, the whole mining licenses are was 1,402. 1,402. That was from 2012 to 2016. So basically, you could see from 2012 to 2015, 2016, John Dramani Mahama and also, and also no Oba Asia now share 2017 to 2024. The mining license, I just say, the ama so far KOFORIDUA edema and 1,014. So clearly, no, in as much as amount for compass, the total license near 2,423, but still now amount for purchase, regardless, no numbers don't lie. And Osha, I say Mahama Nidiano in a single 4 year, no, I say a winim a saying in Kayeno. So you need indemnity definitely on the Galamsey issue. More updates as all of these various events unfold. And thank you so much for watching.